Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to my first ever, and probably last, gameplay commentary. The reason I'm doing this is because a couple of people have asked me about full-length gameplays, and the last one I uploaded on my channel, in fact I only have one on my channel, is of Ranked Rampant from about 2 months ago, and since then we've had quite a few patches, and the meta has evolved a little bit to the point that it's not really representative of how I play and how I think people should play. So I thought, why not take the opportunity with the new DLC to talk about that a little bit while showing a more representative and up-to-date gameplay. I'll also apologise for my mic quality. As I said, I'm probably not ever going to do another one, otherwise I'd buy a new mic, and also I'm a little bit ill, so if my voice sounds a bit weird, that's probably why. So why not start off with talking about Village a little bit, since that's the map we're on. And I have to say, the first thing that strikes me about Village is just how pretty it is. If you remember when the last DLC was released with the new Devon map, quite a lot of people were a bit upset about how we were sticking with the jungle theme, and that wasn't really my first reaction. I don't mind the jungle theme. I kind of think that's basically what Uncharted is about to a certain extent. I remember that's the thing that made me buy Uncharted 1 in the first place, is just how cool they made the jungles look. But having played Village, it really is a breath of fresh air in terms of just the diversity of colours, and how different the map looks compared to a lot of the other maps we have already. So that's it in terms of aesthetics. I think it's a really pretty map. In terms of how the map plays, it's quite an interesting one to me, because all the other maps I can think of, just about all, New Devon being possibly the exception, are very formulaic and lane-based. And I'm quite a proponent of lane-based maps. I think they lead to, I won't say less chaos, because chaos sounds quite positive in games, but more lanes tends to result in a lot less randomness, a lot less nonsense. When you have a lane-based map, they tend to follow certain rules in regards of spawns and routes and things like that, which make knowing the maps advantageous, and it makes the gameplay have a sort of flow to it. That tends to be the case anyway. Having said that, this map doesn't have much flow to it, and I really don't mind that at all. I think it's actually quite a nice change. I'm saying that at the moment. My thoughts might change a few, weeks down the line when I've played this map quite a lot. But for the moment, I think that's probably what Uncharted needs, is a bit more spontaneity. So I'm quite glad we have a more circular type map, shall we say. In terms of the functions of this map, I think they've done a really good job with the changes they made. They've widened it up quite a lot, and I don't know, maybe it's a bit too slow to traverse, but for the moment I really like how it plays. I'm still not a big fan of slides. I think when you look at them in terms of how they function and not in terms of aesthetics, they don't really make much sense. They're just basically, a one-way door. I had a lot of trouble getting this guy. I think I gave up in the end. But in reality, they're basically one-way doors, slides. You can go down them, but you can't go back through, and that kind of disrupts the flow of the map a little bit, so I'm not a big fan. But they don't really feature that prominently in Village, so I can't complain too much. So that's it for Village. In terms of the new guns, we've got the Low S, the most vainly named gun since the Agawal, the Harrison 1890, the RKL 155, and the DC single action. And we also have the heavy weapon, the USAN, which I can't really comment on because I haven't used it yet, but I can talk about the others. So the Low S is, I suppose it's modelled on the Scar H, which means that it's got quite a low rate of fire, but quite high damage. And to me it plays quite a lot like the AK, except for the fact that I can actually use it, which is nice. I don't know why I can't use the AK. I suck with it, but this new low S, I can use that pretty fine. I take it back about slides. They're the best. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that gun. It's quite fun to use, but not as fun as the next gun, which is Harrison. That's the, what is it? Semi-automatic long-range shotgun, I suppose. It's a pretty bad gun. It has to be said. I've seen people saying that, you know, because it's high damage and low fire rate, it kind of rewards accuracy. And to a certain extent that's true. You do get punished quite heavily if you miss, but there's not really that compromise because the rate of fire is so low that I can't see it ever beating a Metler at really any range. And that's basically what it's modelled on, right? Is the Metler crossed with, what's the sniper, the M14 or the M18? I think the M18. And it's just not as effective as either of those in my opinion. But it's really fun, and I'm happy that it's not more effective than the Metler because, you know, it's quote unquote free DLC, but in reality, you know, it's behind a bit of a kind of paywall, which means that a lot of newer players aren't really going to be able to get their hands on this gun, especially because it's in the same chest as all the other gameplay DLC. So I wouldn't want, you know, one of the best guns in the game to be exclusively the property of people who play this game a lot, because that just leads to, you know, kind of a poorly balanced game in my opinion. The RKL, they described it as the Fossa on steroids, and I saw someone on the subreddit saying that the well, it might have been the forums actually, saying that the Fossa was the RKL on steroids, and I 100% agree with that. The RKL is super easy mode sidearm. I think that's why they included it, because, you know, you don't have to have a trigger finger at all. You don't really have to control for recoil that much, but it doesn't compromise. You know, the compromise comes with the fact that the damage is just so low. It's not much of a good gun. I swear to God, I've had, you know, 6 headshots with that thing and people haven't gone down. It's not up to much. The other sidearm though, the DC, is absolutely beastly. It's like the Harrison but better, and it costs 1 loadout point. It's basically Agawal 2.0, except it sounds amazing. I really want it, and I don't actually have it unlocked yet. I'm about 200 relics off another DLC chest, so I'll probably get the Path of Indra today, and I'll cry about it on the forums. Regarding the USAN, like I said, I haven't used it yet. I've had it used against me, and Jesus Christ, that guy got turned on really badly. I'm not sure if the gun is absolutely crap, or if he was really crap, or maybe it's due to the fact that he was blind firing, and I've heard a lot about how it's meant to be a sort of ADS shotgun where you're meant to aim with it, you know. That could be the case. I'll reserve judgment until I've had time to use it myself a bit more. The new Mystical, I don't know about that. I mean, it's 5 loadout points, so I guess that compromises or compensates for the fact that it's really good. I mean, the timer is pretty short, but they talk about it as if it's sort of, you know, it reduces the damage that you take, and I mean, I suppose that's the effect it has, but in reality what it means is that you're virtually untouchable until the timer runs out. So I'm not sure if that might need to be tweaked a little bit, because at the moment when I see someone who's activated the Asgard, if I'm on my own, I just run away, because I've unloaded entire clips of ARX into these people, headshots, almost every shot, and they just don't go down. I've seen people charge melee them. I've seen people throw grenades in C4. It doesn't really do anything. You know, they're pretty much immortal until that time runs out. I suppose the other main feature of this update is the cinema mode, and that's just not very good. It's a great replay mode. It saves you replays, and that's about all I'd use it for. The free cam, as I've said before, is way too restrictive. You can't zoom out, you can't zoom in, you can't really do much. Why do the staffs always disappear when I start shooting them? I don't know. I guess Jeff the cameraman might need to lose a little bit of weight, because I was trying to follow with the free cam through that little slide in Sunken Ruins, and it wouldn't fit through the hole. You can try it yourself if you want. It's really stupid. It doesn't really work as it is. I'm expecting a few patches to come, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm running out of time a little bit, but in terms of customization, I'll just say that the new outfits are really cool, most of them. I really like the Apocalypse, Mad Max type things we've got, and the Western ones are also mostly really, really cool. They're a lot better than the prison skins, which were just mostly appalling, except for, you know, Chloe and a couple of others. And some of the taunts we've got are also really, really cool. I especially like the lasso. I hope I get it, and I hope you've enjoyed this gameplay. I went 30-1, and I think it probably showed how you can keep map control pretty well in Village if you know what you're doing. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.